Hi guys, this is another wonderful day to be grateful about. Like I once mentioned in one of the videos, it's very important, no matter what you're going through, to be grateful. And there's always something to be grateful about. But anyway, that's not my topic today. My topic today is on forgiveness. I know this is not a very easy topic for some people, especially depending on what you've gone through. And you're thinking, forgiveness? No way. After what I went through, I will never forgive. And I understand that because sometimes, you have gone through a very tough situation where maybe someone you trusted really hurt you and betrayed you, and you feel like I will never forgive that person. And to start on this topic, I want to talk about what forgiveness is not. Forgiveness is not forgetting what happened. Forgiveness does not mean that you have to condone what the other person did. Forgiveness does not mean that you have to be friends with the person who hurt you. So I just want to make that clear. It does not mean you condone the behavior, and it does not mean that you have to be friends with the person who hurt you. Just so that that is clear. However, it is very, very important to forgive. It is very, very important to let go. And this is not just for the other person, it is for you. Because if you do not forgive, if there's bitterness in you, it has been even proven scientifically that if you're very bitter, it can lead to stomach ulcers. It can lead to lack of sleep. It can lead to anxiety. So it's very, very important to let go, to forgive. I just want to use a definition that I heard from the famous Oprah Winfrey. She said, forgiveness is giving up the hope that it could have been different. I'll repeat that. Forgiveness is giving up the hope that it could have been different. It is completely letting go. It is, not sitting there and thinking, I wish this and this and this could have happened before this and that happened. Because when you do that, you're going to get into a spiral and you're not going to move from that point on. And then you might even get into some sort of depression. Forgiveness means letting go, giving up the hope that it could have been different. Just saying, I choose to forgive. And that's another point I want to make. How do I get there? The decision precedes the feeling. The decision precedes the feeling. I first decide to forgive. And the feeling that I've forgiven is going to come later, in due time. Don't wait to feel like forgiving before you forgive. Decide to forgive. Say, I choose to forgive. I choose to forgive. And then the feeling is going to come later. And like I said, forgiveness is not for the other person. It is for you. Just let go of that burden. Let go of that burden that is blocking so many things in your life. Because when you have bitterness, it's like, bitterness, I would describe it like, personally, like, taking poison and hoping that it won't hurt you. Bitterness is like poison within. It can lead to physical ailments. It can lead to anxiety, like I mentioned before, and it can lead to lack of sleep, among many other things. So it is important to let go. It is important to choose to forgive, and the feeling comes later. And I know some of you are going to say, "Hey, but you don't know what happened to me. You don't know what he or she did to me. How can I forgive? How can I forgive such a person? How can I forgive?" Let's go back to what I mentioned at the beginning. Forgiveness does not mean that you condone the behavior. Forgiveness does not mean that you have to be friends with that person. Forgiveness means letting go go and saying, I choose to forgive. I'm not going to let this bitterness bind me. I'm not going to be in this prison of bitterness that is going to block my prayer, that is going to block how I feel, that is going to lead to physical ailments. I'm letting go of that. I'm letting go of this poison. I'm letting go of it. It is very, very important to forgive. Forgiveness means giving up the hope that it could have been different. Letting go. Letting go of that poison. Deciding that you will forgive. And like I said, the decision precedes the feeling. Choose to forgive. Just choose to forgive, and you will see the difference. And I'm talking from experience. I've had situations where it was very hard for me. It was very hard to even think of forgiving. But when I chose to forgive, it was such a relief. There was such a huge difference in my own life. So guys, I know sometimes it's hard. I know depending on what you've gone through, it might be very tough. But just make that decision, and you're going to see the difference. I hope you'll find you'll find the strength to be able to let go and forgive. This is Joel. It was nice talking to you again.